Today, I want to dive into the topic of lease option versus land contract. Have you ever wondered if there is a best strategy suited to you as a real estate investor and what tools can help you attain your goals? Well, stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what these different tools as far as a land contract and a lease option can mean to you as a real estate investor and how to utilize them to create massive wealth in your real estate investing career. Did you know that when it comes to these elements of land contract and lease option, one gives you the ability to test drive a property without actually owning it, and the other one allows you to gain equitable ownership without bank financing? Well, let's dive into it. I'm going to first explain what a lease option is and what a land contract is. I'll then cover the two different strategies that are utilized within these elements of real estate, and finally go over with you a strategy I've come up with that morphed a land contract into a lease option called cash flow flipping that is absolutely crushing it in today's market. If you're ready, let's go. So essentially, a lease option is a rent to buy strategy where you as a seller, you're going to lease a property to an individual who plans to buy it from you at a certain date down the road at a certain agreed upon price. And there are some important elements in lease options that need to be understood. Number one, it's the lease agreement. That's like any standard rental agreement, and it'll talk about who's responsible for what the rental price is, what the purchase price is because it's agreed upon up front with the lease option, and the term of that lease. And within that lease option are these elements. And number one is that option price. Now, because you as a buyer or you as a seller are selling this property at a certain date down the road at a certain price and it's agreed upon, and as a seller, you are taking that property off the market, and as a buyer utilizing a lease option, it gives them the right or option to buy that property at a certain date down the road. That option price allows that to happen, and that's anywhere between 2 to 7% of the purchase price. Also within a lease option, there's a clause that allows a certain amount of the monthly lease payment to be credited towards the down payment when the buyer does execute on that purchase. Now, if the buyer ends up not buying the home, that option money they paid up front, that option price, goes to the seller and it's non-refundable. So if you look at a quick scenario, let's say that you're buying a $300,000 home and 2% of that is $6,000. As a buyer, you're paying $6,000, which gives you the option to buy the home 2 years down the road at $300,000. Now that $6,000 can be utilized towards your down payment. And let's say that the monthly price is $2,000 a month to rent the home and that the seller is counting $200 a month towards your down payment. At the end of 2 years, you buy the home for $300,000, you get traditional bank financing, but you get to utilize that $6,000 that you paid for the option price, and $200 a month times 24 months is $4,800. So you get to utilize $10,600 towards your down payment. So lease option can be an absolutely great strategy. A land contract is a little bit different. It's a legal agreement for a seller financed purchase that doesn't require any traditional bank financing. Really, it is the buyer making monthly periodic payments to the seller until the contract is paid in full. A land contract is also called a bond for title or contract for deed. So what is the angle if you're a buyer utilizing a land contract? Well, number one, a land contract is a seller financing tool, so you don't have to get traditional financing through a bank, which means you don't have to come up with a down payment and you don't have to have credit worthy enough to get bank financing. So typically, a seller is going to charge a higher interest rate to be able to do that, but you can get into a home and have equitable title right from the get-go with zero down payment or needing to credit qualify for anything. Or if you're a buyer who doesn't have enough money or your credit's been damaged, a slow flip is a great way to get into a home and have equitable title to that home. Now, you don't receive actual title until that last payment is made. And one of the other things to note with a land contract is if you stop making payments or don't make payments anymore, even if you've been paying for 10 years, all the money you've paid for that 10 years, you get none of it back if you default on the land contract. So it highly benefits the seller. Now, there's a couple strategies that I've utilized with both of these different elements of real estate. With a land contract, typically that strategy that is utilized is something called a slow flip. It's an awesome strategy. However, one thing about a slow flip that I didn't like, there wasn't a lot of margin every single month when you were doing that strategy. And so I morphed it into something called cash flow flipping. So instead of using a land contract, I utilized a lease option. And cash flow flipping is a strategy I'm doing right now in today's market. It works in any economy. In most markets, it works in great, although I'm looking in the Midwest, trying to find homes that are below $100,000, and I'm offering these homes outright cash with somebody else's money I have a private money lender, and I'm trying to get those homes 20 to 30% below asking price. But because I'm closing quickly and buying them cash outright, I'm seeing some of these deals happen. But cash flow flipping, like I said, can be done in any market with little to no money out of your pocket. And if you want to learn how to do this strategy step by step, I've written a book called Cash Flow Flipping, and I'm giving it away 100% free to you. Just click on the link below, cashflowflipping.com. No obligation, no questions asked. Thanks for stopping by. Have an amazing day.